Okay, in today's session, we will continue with understanding what is data modeling. But before that, there are some pending topics, right? Needs to be covered as part of the Power Query data. So what is that? That one is the group by, right? In the last session, I covered the merge, join, everything. In today's session, we will continue with the group by operation. What is group by? Group by, using group by, we can perform aggregations. Okay. So, using group by, you can perform aggregation. So group by feature is available in Power Query Editor. And there is something called fuzzy grouping that is very specific to Power Query Editor, using which we can ignore the case. Okay, we can ignore the case and all. Okay, so now what I will do is, okay, first of all, what is group by in SQL? Anybody has any idea about SQL in SQL query? In SQL language, if you take any RDBMS database, second year, there's something called SQL query. Sorry, RDBMS, right? In the SQL, we have something called a group by. Using SQL queries, also we can do group by, which means we can present the data in a summarized form. We can perform some aggregation functions. What are the aggregation functions? Like sum function, average function, min function, max function. Okay, min, max, average. These are the count function. These are the aggregation function. Using SQL queries also you can perform group by. Okay, in right, so in simple term, using group by, we can present the data in summarized form. So not all the time the detailed records are helpful. You have, if you look at your transaction data, you have millions and millions of records will be there. If you want to gain any quick insight, that is not required for me. Okay, so in that kind of situations, I need something like aggregated data. All I need is each region, what is my total sales, or what is the average sales in each region. That is what I wanted to know. I don't want to see in each region, let's say, the 1 million orders we received. We don't want to see all these, each and every orders there. Just give me a second. I'll just set it up this one. Just 1 second. Yeah, I'm all set. Okay. In SQL query, right? Using SQL also we can perform group by. Okay. Okay, using SQL queries also we can do group by. Using Power Query Editor also we can do group by. Okay, so as part of group by, what we are doing is, what happens is behind the scene, it groups the rows that have the same values. It groups the rows that have the same values. For example, you have the north region. In north region, on 1st Jan, your sales was 10,000. 2nd Jan, your sale was 20,000, something like that. Okay, this is also from north region. Okay, and for example, you have south region. In south region, the 1st Jan sale was 5,000, and 2nd Jan the sale was 6,000, and so on. Okay, so this is also south, right? South, and somewhere you have something called east region. You have the 1st Jan 5,000. Okay, and again you have east region here, and 2nd Jan you have something called 5,000 here, the sales. When you do group by, what happens is it groups all the rows that have the same values. That means it groups the rows that have the same values. North and north it groups it, and south it will group, and east only it will group, right? The rows that have the similar values, which means, right, for example, I want to group by on the region. This is my region column. The region column, these are the values I can say. I want to do the group by on the region column. Since we are doing a group by on the region column, what it does is it groups the rows that have the similar values, east and east, right? Since I'm doing group by on the region column, I'm doing the group by on my, 1 second. On my region column, this is my region column. This is my, I'll just write it neat, region column. I do group by on my region column. So this is my region column, okay? So all the rows that have these similar values, right, will get grouped, and then you perform the aggregation. If you use some function, so 10,000 plus 20,000, 30,000. In North region, in total, we made 30,000. We don't want to know the itemized, the sales data, okay? So all they need is, okay, something 4 or 3 records. In this case, North region, South region, and East region. Tell me what is the total sales. Here, 30,000. In North region, you have 30,000. And South region, how much? 11,000. And East region, how much? East region, you have 2 records, 5,000 plus 5,000, 10,000 records. Is it clear? We are performing group by on the region column. Hence, the rows that have the similar regions gets grouped, and then it does the aggregation. In this case, I have used the sum because he wants to see the total sales in each region, aggregated sales or summarized sales for each region. Okay, that is what we are going to look at it. And apart from this example, right, you have something, I just write something like this, the North and let's say country. I'm going to introduce another column called country North sales. This is a region, country region sales. Let's say here you have India. Okay, India, North region, you have 5,000 sales, and India, you have the South region, you made 10,000 sales. Okay, and USA, in the North region, you made $10,000 sales, and again USA, the South region, you made $8,000, and USA, the West region, okay, in the West region, you made $20,000. These are the sales. So if I do the group by on this column country, what will happen is it will group all the rows based on the country column. Okay, it will group all the rows that have the similar values of the countries. Okay, USA have similar values. It groups this one. And if you use any sum function on the sales column, these two values will get summed, aggregated. Okay, I just go one more step further, right? I'm going to, I'm going one step further. I want to group by based on the combination of these two columns. Okay, and supposing in USA, I have another North region, okay? In the North region itself. See, this is kind of a 1st January, 10,000. 2nd January in USA North region, you have something like another 10,000. In that case, what will happen is the similar rows here, right? These two are similar. USA North, because you are doing group by on these two columns. Hence, it will consider these two columns to combine. Group by is kind of a combining the rows that have the similar values. In the sense, the columns that you have used in the group by, those column values that are of having the similar value, that one will get grouped together or combined together, and then it performs the aggregation. If you do the aggregation in this case with the combination of these two columns, USA North region, how much? 10,000 plus 10,000, 20,000. But other regions, right? USA South is different from India South, hence it will not do the group by. If you want to do the group by on the country column alone, what will happen is in that case only all the 4 USA column would have grouped together. Okay, and then it would have given the total sales in USA, total sales in India, it will give. But if you do the group by on, based on these two columns, see in this case, for example, if you tell your manager, in India and USA, we are doing the business. In USA, the sales is more. Okay, they want to go one step further and they want to understand in USA, which region, in USA and India, which region are we selling more? Okay, it's kind of a hierarchy, right? So the top of the hierarchy, next hierarchy, in the first level to second level, if you want to move down, in that case, you need to do a group by on these two columns. So now let us jump into Power BI desktop and we will see how we can perform group by using Power BI desktop. I click on get data and here I have something called AGG sales, aggregated sales.csv. I just load this data set. Okay, data set is good. I just hit the load button, let it load the data here. Only 11 rows, let it be there. To understand this concept, this is more than sufficient. The next step is I'm going to select the transform data, Power Query editor. I'll be jumping into Power Query editor because this is where we do the data pre-processing, aggregation, data deduplication, everything we do it here. So, okay, I got this data set, available here. Very good. So now if you look at this country ID column, Australia, GR is there. Okay, and US is there, USS is there, New Zealand is there. If I do group by on country ID column, and if I perform sum on the sales, what is the output? How many number of records you will get it? How many number of records you will get it? Can someone tell me? How many records will get it? Am I audible? Am I audible to you all, first of all? Sanoj Kumar, 4 records. Okay, very good. If I do the group by on country ID column, so this is what is interpretation. How about others? Are you all agreeing with Sanoj Kumar? So, okay, here I just click on this. How many unique values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 6 are there, but here nothing is same. There is a typo here. What I do is, I know very well, okay, these two record, right? So USA, right? So, okay, now what I'll do is, I'll just click on the transform ribbon. And here you can see the group by button here, right? So group by icon here. Okay, in the transform ribbon, we can see the group by icon here. So I just click on the group by. I'm going to do a group by on the country ID column. Let's see what happens. So we have two options here, the radio buttons. Okay, one is basic, another one is advanced. Okay, in this case, we will start with the basic thing. I'm going to do a group by on the country ID column only. So hence I have specified this one. This is the group by column. Okay, and then a new column name is total sales. And operation, what do you want to perform? What kind of operation? Sum. Perform sum on the, not on the country ID. It is on the either quantity or sales. We'll start with use the sales column. I'm going to hit the OK button now. Now we have more than 4 records are there. US 18,887, Australia. And if you look at the data set here, for example, if you look at the data set here, you can go to the data view and then, okay, here it will not, okay, it is displaying it. So in US, how many number of records are there? How many number of records are there? If you see here, if you group by, if you do group by here, if I unselect and if I select only the US, forget about USS. In US itself, we have 3 records, right? So 2,500 plus 87,000 and or 8,700, right? 8,700 plus 2,000, almost 11,000. 11,000 plus 7,000, 18,000 and odd, right? 18,000 and odd, that is what we were getting it. So make sure that you are clearing this filter. That is what we are getting it, 18,000 and odd. But unfortunately, we have another US related transactions record is there. But ideally, this value 4251 should have been added with this one as part of the group by. It is not doing it here. Why? Because the naming convention is not same here. We have the inconsistent things are there. For example, instead of USS, they never put it. For example, you have something like instead of USS, you have something called USA. Okay, they mention USA. Some people they mention US, some people they mention USA. But when you do group by, the tool Power Query Editor will think the US is different from USA. Got it? And other scenario is like something like, for example, instead of going and making changes here, I'll use, for example, I have something called US. Wherever you find US, here I'm going to say USA. You replace that with U and yes, something like that. Okay, or US, they're using US, small case. USA, it replace the USA by US. Why it is putting additional yes? So is there any problem? Okay, one second, let me just clear this. Okay, that is the grouped rows. We'll do the group by one more time. Okay, I did it there, not in the original data. I should have done it in the original data. So wherever the USS is there, I'm going to replace the US. Power BI will not understand the typo error. That is what I'm trying to say. Sanoj, it will not understand. It doesn't have that common sense. For that, we have something called fuzzy grouping. Okay, fuzzy grouping. We'll discuss it. So I'm going to click on the group by and country ID total sales. So here I'm going to select sales. Though these two values are same, but it considers the lower case of the country ID value, as a different thing, right? This one is different from this one. That is how it thinks. Okay, like, to answer to Sanoj Kumar, he asked this, how can Power BI understand typo error? Not only typo error, even the case related problem, right? Here the data is inconsistent. The values are inconsistent. Ideally, they should have used the capital letter for the country, but here they mentioned a smaller letter, smaller lowercase. Here uppercase, lowercase. Since it is case sensitive, it is considering these two things are two different records altogether. But we have 3 records are there in US. It consolidated all the 3 records into single record and then it performed the sum here because we have used the sum operation here. Look here, sum. Okay, the next one is how we can overcome this issue. The one thing is manually we can go and replace the values. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the small US, you make it as capital US. I'm going to click on OK. Now it is fine. And then if I go back here, okay, ideally we should have done it here. Here we should have done it. If you do it here, it is of no use. After doing the group by, if you do it, what is the use? So here, okay, here what I'm going to do is I'm going to here itself we can modify it. It's in the language, right? The mark language, the M language, markup language. Capital US. Here itself we can change. This is how you can modify the markup language or the script generated with Power Query Editor. Okay, and I just put the press enter. Okay, okay. What happened here? The it became capital USS, right? Okay, okay. Let me bring USS. I'm going to replace that with okay, small capital US. Look here. Now USS went off and we have only US. So this one, what will happen is if you do group by after this, and if you see all the US records got combined together into a single record, and then it did the aggregation of the the value which had the problem. So which value? USS, we replaced it by US. Right. And this is not required, this step, I'm going to remove this. You understood? Now the question is, in this case, we have less number of records, fine. In real times, we are dealing with millions and millions of records. Forget about millions and millions. Even if you have 1 million record, you are gone. 10 lakh records. Do you think you can keep scroll down and see all the things here? So each and every record will be there. Right? You can still, you can see in the case of country ID, you are selling it across many countries. In that case, what will happen is, all difficult to find out. That is where we have something called fuzzy grouping option that is available in Power BI. You have something called fuzzy grouping option is available. Okay, with the fuzzy grouping, what we can do is what it does is it will, even though the values are lowercase and uppercase, but if both of the values are same, it will combine them. It will ignore the case. It's a lowercase or uppercase, end of the day, both values are same. Okay, it will simply ignore the case. Got it? It will simply ignore the case with fuzzy grouping, but that option is not available in Power Query Editor. Sorry, in the Power BI desktop, it is not available. But in the case of Power BI Cloud Service, fuzzy grouping option is available. Okay, that we will explore a little later. First, let us go ahead and make some more additions here. What I will do is total sales is not sufficient. Along with that, you want to see the total quantity also, grouped rows, and then I just click on it, and then here I just say total quantity. Sum of quantity here, okay, and here country ID. I use the country ID column as a group by column, and then total quantity and sum quantity. I just hit the OK here. Sorry, I should have done this one. Wait. Okay, so in this case, what we will do is advanced, select advanced. When you select the advanced, right? So here I'm not going to add, but I want to add additional column here, total sales. Here, sum of sales. And you can drag this here and you can put it here, okay? Yeah, quantity is here, total sales here. So now we got this one, okay? We did sum. If you want average, you can also, go here and add one more column. For example, add aggregation, average sales. Along with this, he wants to understand the average sales in each region. Here you have average option. Average on which column? Sales column. Let's go by this one, okay? Average sales. Okay, in US, 23,000 we made sales, and 28,000 we made sales in Australia, Germany, and other thing, right? Okay, fine. So at the end of the day, he wants to know what is the average sales here. In Australia, 9,000. Okay, and here you have 5,784, the average sales. Okay, fine. Along with this, you can see the average sales also. Fine. What are the other things that we can do it? I just now what he says is, what he wants to know is, in US, how many number of transactions, how many number of transactions got generated. Okay, so for that I just use the same thing, total number of records in each country, total number of transactions. Not rows, count distinct rows. Okay, count distinct rows. Okay. Here you cannot do anything. You can use count rows. 431. Okay, 431. So in USA, 4 records are there. Let us go and check it out here. And if you see here, US 1, 2, 3, 4 records. Okay, good. 4 records got combined together into a single record, got aggregated into a single record, and then it performed the sum here. It performed the average on the 4 records. Got it. So the same thing is happening here. Okay, the total number of transactions, the count rows is helpful here. So the next question is, okay, count distinct rows when it is helpful. Supposing, take the order number. In a single order, you would have ordered, see, in a single order, you would have you would have purchased more than one product. Product 1, product 2, product 3, product 4. And along with each product, you will find the same order ID. Order ID 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, repeated, right? I just write it here. You have something called order number. And then here you have the, let's say quantity, okay? Or the product, and then quantity. Okay, let's say in a single order, right? Let's say order number is ORD 001, ORD 001, ORD. You have ordered 3 products in a single order. Maybe product, let's say you have ordered the Colgate thing, and then shaver, electric shaver, and then you have some perfume. You bought some perfume, and quantities here, 2, and here you bought 1, here you bought 3. But another person he ordered. Okay, so that guy's order number is 002. Okay, ORD 00. Like you or, but he ordered more than 2 products in this single order. This guy ordered the soap. Okay, the Lux is 3, and another thing is like spray, right? So mosquito spray or something like that. He bought 2. If I ask you a question like how many number of orders that we raised it, how many number of orders that we received it, can you say 3 plus 2, 5 orders? No, right? You will say only 2 orders. This is, all these things are putting together 1, and these 2 are belong to order 2 only. So if somebody is asking you how many number of orders that you received, 2, but how many number of how many lines, how many line items are there? How many line items are there? So in that case, you can go for count rows. In order 001, how many line items are there? So 1, 2, 3, not the quantity. Okay, number of records, line items are nothing but how many line items. Line item 1, 2, 3. 3 items purchased. And similarly here, 2 items they purchased. If you want to see the line item, then you can go for count rows. And if you have a business questions like how many number of orders we received, 2. So in that case, irrespective of the duplicate of the order numbers, your count, look here, you have something else called distinct count rows. Distinct count rows, what will happen is, it will ignore the duplicate values, okay, and then it will say, hey, in order 01, we have received only one, okay, in order to, sorry, we have received in total, we have received two orders. That is what it tells you. Which one? The count distinct rows. Distinct in the sense unique value, okay, remove the duplicate. That is what it tells you. Okay. Got it? So the difference in count rows and count distinct rows, now you understood what kind of situation you are supposed to use count rows, what kind of situation you want to use count distinct, now you understood. In this case, in each region, how many number of invoices, how many number of line items are there in each country, right? So for how many transactions? 4, 3, 1, 1, 2. Okay, next we have something else called, this is very specific to Power Query Editor. Here I just select all rows. That's all okay. Here nothing is there. Itemized transactions, okay. And click on OK. All rows is very specific here. So here if you see here, when since I selected all rows for this column, displays table here. So what I do is I just click somewhere next to this table. So what happens is here in the first record, US, we have 4 transactions are there. In US, we have east, south, east, So this gives you, broader idea, right? So detailed information. It gives you the granularity, right? So what is the granularity of the transactions in US? Show me each and every region or each and every record. Okay, don't show me total quantity we sold 18. So if you add all the thing, how much? 10, 16, 18, right? 18 quantities are there. Okay, but you know what makes up this 18? I wanted to see that. So give me the split up of the 18 here in USA. So in that case, this kind of table rows is very much helpful. If you keep it somewhere, if you click it somewhere next to that, you can see that in US we have east, south, east, north, and 2, 6, 5, 5, 5, something. It gives you the detailed record. If you add these values, if somebody is asking you, how did you arrive this one? Can I take a detailed look at the data? That's where the table rows are very much helpful. Hope you understood. Or if you wanted to expand and display along with this, that is also possible. You can click on this double arrow. And then if you want, you can select this one, and then you can probably click on it here. You can display it here. Detailed record along with the group by. This is the 18. So 18 is repeated here. So here the quantity, and along with it, you can see here's 4 records are there. If you add all these things, so you can display the detailed transaction along with. Normally we don't do that, right? So we don't do that displaying the this thing. So it defeats the purpose of using the group by. So now we understood using group by how we can perform the sum, how we can perform the average, how we can perform the count, and how we can perform the all rows. Okay, and also we discussed about the count distinct rows. Okay, what is the next step? So the next step is I'm going to use, so you look here in this case, what I did, I have used only one column, country ID. And if I go and check the source column, you have something called region column. In addition to the country, the region column is there. Now I wanted to do a group by based on the combination of these two columns. Instead of doing the group by on a single column, I want to do the group by on these two columns, country ID and region. Got it? I want to do the group by based on the combination of these two columns. So in that case, what will happen is USE, USC will get grouped together. Okay, got it? So that is what is going to happen. What I am going to do is I am going to look here, change type, replaced value. Let us look at this one. Okay, here US, yes, USE, USN. How many USEs are available? US and E combination. USE, only 2 records, isn't it? And US North, only 1 record is there. US South, only 1 record is there. So in total, we have 4 records. Of the 4 records, we can see that a duplicate of the country and in region ID is available in this case, the East region. For the East region US, more than 1 transaction is there for the East region USA. So in this case, what will happen is it will add 5. This 5 with this 2, 7. Okay, country ID in region combination. Whatever the records that are similar with this combination, it will perform the aggregation. In this case, we use sum, these values. That is what is happening here. That is what I'm trying to do here. Your manager wants to go 1 step further. He wants to do a group by on the country ID in region ID. So we don't have to again click on the group by. Instead, you can leverage the group by which you have already used it. You just click on this wheel next to the grouped rows. It will open up the dialog box of your group by. And here we have clicked on the add aggregation to add additional aggregations. Now I'm going to click on the grouping. So now I'm going to add another 1 more column, region. With the combination of these two, you do the grouping. So I just click on OK now. Look here. Can you see USE appears more than 1 time? No, right? We don't see, right? So you have unique values here. But Australia also, East is there, but yeah, we don't see anything, right? So we don't see anything. But there is a problem here, GR and G, right? These two are different. But these two, in practice, belong to same country, Germany. But here they use the naming convention as GER, and here they use GE. Got it? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to okay, okay. So now we did this thing, but the still okay, group rows. Yes, it did the perfect job, right? USC. And if you click on this one, USC, and if you keep the cursor here, the East region of US, we have 2 records. And if you click it here, so even Australia, right? We have 2 records are there. Australia East region, we have 2 records are there. Good. And here we have only 1 record, only 1 record, only 1 record, only 1 record is there, only 1 record is there. Got it? With the help of the table rows, you will get to know you will find, you can, you can find out, or you can take a granular look at it, right? So what makes up this value? So in US East region, we have 2 retail shops are there. And which retail shop is performing well? So in that case, for example, if you keep the cursor somewhere here, in US East region, we can see that in this retail store, we sold 5 quantity, and this is what the sales we made. The second retail store is performance is very good compared to the first one. If you want to take the granular look at it, you can do it. Hope you understood what is group by. And here, in this case, you might be asking this one. There is a typo here, like Sanoj was, right? So there is a typo here. Power BI will not understand. So one option is you can right click on it. You don't right click on grouped rows. What you do is, you can probably go to the promoted rows and you can just replace the values Germany by GR. 1 second, replaced value here, right? You can do it here. And USS. Okay, here what I'm going to do, in addition to that, I'm going to replace values. So I'm going to insert 1 more step. Here I'm going to say, GE by Germany. Okay, this GE, make it GER so that it will be more meaningful. Okay, sorry. Here what I do is, okay, G by, okay, here also G is the right, that is the problem. So what we will do is, what can we do now? So let me do one thing. Okay, so here, how do we change this? Let me see how many if we can tell this one. Here, I just go and see if I have the it is causing the same problem. G or here we have changed the USS by US. Very good. Here I should have done that thing. Okay, G or by. Okay, we will do it the other way around so that now it has gone. Okay. And then next one is the grouped rows. And when you click on the grouped rows, but still it is showing, but it is doing correct job now, right? You don't see G or, so you don't have to do the group by again. You have already set the group by. And when you address the data related issues like inconsistency, right? You made it consistent now, or replace all the GR by GE. Now it's good. We are doing it, right? So but if I have the huge volume of data, I need to look at each and every records and some records, right? So wherever inconsistent there, so you will get confused. Different country name, different naming convention, they'll use it. The classic example is something like what is that country? Yeah, for example, here's something like IND is there. One gentleman asked this good question. Say IND. IND is India, and even for Indonesia. All right, they could have used this one. In this kind of situation, it will cause major problem. That is the reason why this is more of a data, the naming convention related issue. So these kind of data inconsistent to overcome this, they will have some data governance. If you go to the bigger enterprises, they have something called data governance team. What they do is they define the naming convention, everything, and then they will discuss or they do the brainstorming. And somebody says, this in IND getting the naming convention wrong. So here, this is India. India better, you can put India. So Indonesia, you put Ind. So that wherever Ind is there. But in place of India, if they put Ind, then it is a problem. That is human error. Okay, that cannot be done. Some extent only we can do automation, right? Now we will take a look at the same thing in Power BI Cloud Service. How we can perform the group by in Power BI Cloud Service. I just go to the Power BI Cloud Service now. Here, look here, app.powerbi.com. This is our Power BI Cloud Service. It logged in automatically. What I will do is I'll just click on the workspaces here, and I'm going to use the dev order workspace. It's a folder, okay? They already created. Anyhow, don't worry, I will explain it later point how to create this workspace or not. Okay, here what I do is I click on the, see, first step, you click on the workspace. Second step is you need to go to the new, and here you will find something called data flow. This data flow is nothing but the Power Query editor on cloud. The next one is I'm going to say add new tables. Here, text CSV file. I want to use the AG, the same file, AGG, but I'm going to use it on cloud. See, in my laptop, this file is there, aggSales.csv. In my laptop, this file is there, but we are on cloud. How Power BI cloud service will get to know? It has to read the data from my laptop. How will it know? So we need to select this one path and we need to specify it here. And we need to link the file. Okay, we have something called AGG sales.csv. Here, what I'm going to do is leave it as it is. CSV, right? Is a connection name. Okay, let it be there. See, if you want the Power BI cloud, if you want to read anything from your Power BI cloud to your on-premise, which is nothing but in my case, it is a laptop. From the cloud, if you want this one Power BI to read this file, you need to install the gateway. There is something called data gateway. Look here, if I go to the start button here, data gateway. Look here, on-premise data gateway. In this case, 1 second, I have used the on-premise data gateway here. You need to install this and go to the Microsoft site and then download and install it. Look here, I already installed it. It is running in my system. If I click on this, this is the agent, okay? Because you are making the, you wanted to read the data from your cloud to your on-premise, which is nothing but in my case, it is a laptop. There should be some agent. So this is the agent, helps you to read the data from cloud. Okay, here already installed it. I don't want to install. Okay, the installation is very simple. You download it, and when you click on the exe file, until you find the installation was successful, it is all set. Okay, you will not get any error also. Fine. So now we are here, and look here. This is a gateway name, my data gateway name. So okay, I installed the data gateway in my laptop, wasn't it? So that name I should give here. So you can give your own name. I have given my name here. Okay. Authentication kind is Windows. For example, here what I do is I just select. You need to use the gateway, otherwise it will not work. Windows, yeah, your domain alias, correct. In my case, my domain is, let me just take it Control Alt Del. If I do this, okay. Desktop, this is my computer name, right? So here I just say laptop name. This in your case, it is going to be a in real time. So you need to specify your server name, something like that. They will give you. You need to ask them. So what is the server name? Everything, and here the username is this one, and the password I'm going to type it here. So we are telling the agent data gateway to go and use this connection, right? So login credentials to read this file from my laptop, from your cloud. Okay, I just click on the next. Let's see what happens. And this connection, it is not there. Okay, let us see what happens. Yeah, it got connected. Very good. No issues. So now we can see this AGG sales.csv file got loaded here. Same thing. Now, what you are seeing is the Power BI Cloud. In the Power BI Cloud service, we are seeing the Power Query. Look here, we have 3 buttons: cancel, add table, transform data. When I click on the transform data, it is something like your Power Query Editor on cloud. That's all. All the items, whatever you have seen it, right, in the Power local desktop, the same options are available here also. So look here, group by is available here. So now what I will do is I will hit the group by here, country ID. Here I just say total sales. Here I'm going to select sum, and here the sales column I want to do it. And this option is available only on Power BI Cloud Service, the fuzzy grouping. I'm going to select this one. I'm going to expand this one. I'm going to say show similarity scores, everything, transformation table. I'm not going to do anything. That's all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the similarity threshold here, something like 0.6 or something like that. And then I hit the OK. Look here, the GE got merged with GER, 53,044. Now we will go and validate that one here. 53,004 or GR, right? So 41 plus 12, how much? 50 to 53, right? Yes. Look here, the similarity threshold is very much about the fuzzy grouping. You need to enable the fuzzy grouping, and you need to select ignore case. In this case, there is no case related issue. Even in case of any case related issue, you can ignore the case. For that, you need to select this one. Group by combining text parts. It uses something called Jacquard similarity algorithm. It is something related to the artificial intelligence, okay, in the artificial data science, okay. They use something called Jacquard similarity. Basically, it does some kind of distance. It computes the distance between each and every word, and then checks, okay, these two words are somewhat similar to this one. Hence, we will combine these two into a single one. Now, what is the, this threshold? It's something like an exact match. If I move this here, it's something like exact match. So the values should be GR. Otherwise, don't combine them. So here, what I am doing is, in the SQL and all, we write like operator, where in SQL, something similar to these two, these values, you can group them together. So exactly like, the country ID is equivalent to within the quote, if you specify ger, that's all. It will consider it. But it's something like in SQL query. If you reduce this one, similarity threshold, don't do too much of exact, don't do exact match. Even if there is a slight match, then you can combine them together. That is what is happening. That is what similarity threshold. Similarity threshold, if you reduce it, it's something like somewhat similar text, you can group them together. If you increase the threshold, similarity threshold, it is something like exact pattern. Okay. Look here, it is doing. It saves a lot of time, isn't it? Especially if you have millions of records. So, but it's not, the time. Since you are using similarity threshold and you are using fuzzy grouping, obviously it will take more time. Even though it takes more time, but you will have the, the consistent data available in this data set, isn't it? You are not going to miss out anything. Just because too many volumes of records, you might tend to forget to address some issues. If you use manually replace value is painful thing. One thing is a comparison job, and also due to oversight, you might tend to miss out something. That kind of situation, the fuzzy grouping option is very much helpful. And rest, we can do the same thing. Look here, you can click on whatever we did it. Look here, you can select advanced, and you can add the total sales, total quantity, count rows, distinct, everything can do it. It is somewhat similar to that. Okay. Any questions so far? So hope you understood what is group by. Right, so we discussed various options that are available as part of group by, and also have demonstrated what is fuzzy grouping and how to perform group by on cloud, and how to leverage the fuzzy grouping option, right? And also we discussed about Jacquard similarity, based on which it does the matching group by. Okay. And also you can ignore it. You can, if you select ignore case, even in case of any lower case or upper case issues will get addressed.